Perspectives on water sector is the topic for today's discussion. I am John Alexander, Head of the Department of KCG College of Technology, Civil Engineering Division. And before I get into the topic, let me give you some of the facts regarding the water resources status of our country. Now, in our country, we have a population of 17% of the total world's population, but we are endowed with just 4% of global water resources. And added to that, 50% of our annual precipitation happens in just 15 days in a year. And so, because of that, there is limited storage capacity that can hold this much amount of precipitation happening in just 15 days in a year. So if you look at that, we are able to store only 36% of the utilizable resources. And added to that, leakage and inefficiencies in our water supply system, we are having nearly a wastage of about 50%. We know that our groundwater levels are declining at a rate of 10 centimeters per year, and 70% of our surface and groundwater resources are contaminated. So the bottom line is that we are towards a water scarce situation in many parts of our country. Now, there are a lot of efforts that have been taken by the government of India. We have invested huge amount of money into the construction of large dams, storage structures, canal networks, etc. to meet the challenges of water needed for agricultural as well as domestic purposes. It's clearly evident from the amount of budget that has been allocated. If you look at the 12th 5-year plan as compared to the 11th 5-year plan, in watershed development alone, we have moved from 2,43,497 crores to around 5,04,371 crores. In the drinking water and the sanitation sector, we have gone from 1,20,774 crores to 2,54,952 crores. And so because of all these efforts, we have been able to achieve to an extent the food as well as water security in many areas of our nation. But again, because of the growing population and unsustainable extraction of groundwater for irrigation and domestic needs, there are issues in different parts of the country. Now, the future threat is that by 2030 there is going to be an alarming 50% water gap, we call, and we need to take tough decisions in order to tackle this issue. The country is also facing potential threat due to climate change, altering the pattern of rainfall and the pattern of flow in the river, and also severe droughts and flooding situations in many parts of the country. Now, if you look at the legal and policy framework for water in India, under the Constitution, water is a state subject, with the state's jurisdiction extending to water supplies, irrigation and canals, drainage and embankments, water storage and water power. Now, these powers are, however, enjoyed subject to the authority of the center to regulate the development of interstate rivers and settle interstate water disputes. Now, since the river as well as the catchment areas cross boundaries of states, it becomes the responsibility of the center to manage interstate issues in the right perspective. The national water policy of India comes as a great help in order to formalize the principles on which the sharing of water in our country is going to take place. So I will just give you an outline of the basic guiding principles of National Water Policy 2012. It says that planning, development and management of water resources need to be governed by commonly integrated perspectives considering local, regional and national contexts, having an environmentally sound basis, keeping in view the human, social and economic needs. Similarly, safe drinking water and sanitation occupies high priority, and then later comes to the various domestic needs and so on and so forth. So in order to apply a correct perspective to the water sector, these guidelines proposed by National Water Policy 2012 needs to be stringently applied and monitored by both the center as well as the state governments. Thank you.